Trust is one of the basic requirements for any relationship, whether it's friendship, romantic relationship, or family ties. Besides building bonds and identifying the people you need to keep around you, it also makes it possible for you to know who to engage with and the type of information to provide them. In this video, we will discuss the type of people you should never trust according to Stoic philosophy. First and foremost, to determine if someone fits in any of these characteristics, observation is necessary. It's very easy, as you only need to observe their actions and speech to get an idea of who they are and what their essence is. We will discuss the things you need to look into before categorizing everyone around you. Before we begin, make sure you
subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell.
watch the video to the end, as I have something special for you. Let's look at the first type of person, narcissist. When dealing with narcissistic people, the Stoics reminds us not to allow other people's behavior to affect our inner peace. Practicing indifference towards their actions allow us to maintain our inner peace amidst their vanity. Think about it. If someone is always talking about themselves and barely cares about others, they are hardly someone you can trust, as they only have eyes for themselves and consistently prioritize their own needs. It doesn't matter who they are. You can't trust narcissistic people because they elevate their own image to be the most important thing in the world. They don't want anyone to be better or equal to them. They are the type of people who will do anything to further enhance their self-image, and this compulsive act of desiring and admiring themselves is extremely dangerous because it's impossible to know what such a person is capable of doing to maintain their desired image. Typically, they are the kind of individuals who make others take the blame for their own mistakes. Therefore, don't trust people who talk excessively about themselves and only seek to impose their opinions on others without listening to anyone else, as these individuals can harm you at any time to achieve their goals. The second type of person is the gossip. Stoicism also teaches us how to deal with gossip and hurtful words from people. Stoics emphasize the need not to give power to others' opinions about us. If someone reveals secrets or shares information about another person, it's highly likely that the same person will do the same to you. It's not just a habit, but an action done for pure pleasure. So don't think that just because someone is your friend, they won't tell others your secrets. Don't make that mistake. The only advantage you can get from gossip is if you want the information to spread, because then you just need to tell the gossip, and they will do all the work for you. The third type is the person who constantly irritates you. When it comes to dealing with annoying or manipulative people, Stoicism offers us the practice of self-reflection. Instead of reacting emotionally, we can stop and think about how our own perceptions and reactions influence the situation. It's one thing when you're going through a tough time in your life and easily lose patience with someone, not because of the person, but due to the daily stress you're under. It's a completely different situation when you're calmer, but constantly get irritated around a specific person. If that person is capable of constantly annoying you, it's because they subtly provoke you by throwing ideas that confuse you and subtly feed your doubts, little by little, in small doses, so that you can't fully understand their emotional and psychological games. Believe me, there are people who act this way for pure pleasure. So be cautious of these subtle little games, because if a person can irritate you all the time, it's because they're poking you with gestures and words and you don't even realize it. The fourth type is the indecisive people. As for indecisive individuals, Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, our own decisions and actions. It's easy to explain why these people are not trustworthy. How can you trust someone who is always hesitating about which decision to make? If they can't even define a direction for their lives, how can you trust them? They're also entirely unpredictable because you don't know exactly what their decisions will be. Since their own personalities aren't fully formed, they are indecisive individuals lacking a strong enough personality to act and choose the path they want to follow. To be direct on this point, Trusting an indecisive person is like trusting a child with a knife. You don't know what they'll do when you're not around. The fifth type is the two-faced individuals. Regarding people who have two faces, Stoicism would advise caution. Instead of worrying about their actions, we can focus on cultivating virtue within ourselves. You've probably had an experience like this. They are people who seem to like you but spread rumors about you behind your back, and this behavior extends to other people as well. So don't be surprised when others speak ill of you. In one moment, they're smiling and being friendly, and in the next, they're speaking negatively about you. What I recommend is that, when you start noticing this kind of behavior, it's better to exit the relationship as quickly as possible. The sixth type is the curious one. From a Stoic perspective, it's important to set boundaries in conversations and share information prudently. Stoic suggests keeping a distance from people with insatiable curiosity because it can lead to the disclosure of harmful information. Furthermore, this curiosity may be linked to envy. So always be cautious about whom you share information with. After all, it's challenging to be sure that the person doesn't intend to use any of your information harmfully in the future. If someone displays constant curiosity about something, it's best to distance yourself or not trust that person. However, it's important to make something very clear. Don't confuse present conversation with excessive curiosity. What I mean by this is that obviously, when you're getting to know someone or talking to a friend, the person may occasionally seek a topic or try to get to know you better by asking about your life, like your work, studies, and what you're doing. That's just a normal part of a conversation. However, what you need to understand is that the curious one is the person who will ask about your life all the time, and sometimes about sensitive things. For example, the person might ask about your salary, which is already a bit strange to ask. If you decide not to answer and change the subject later, the person asks the same question again. That's what I'm referring to. This is the type of person we should be cautious about before granting our trust. So not only can you not trust this kind of person, but if you have the opportunity, distance yourself from them.